know why I pressed this video. We're gonna watch this video. I don't know what's whatever. Let's get.
So we've just gone over all of our YouTube guide now. You know a bit more about streaming, so you know a bit more about YouTube, thumbnails, titles, concepts, all this stuff, editing too, and then now we'll talk about streaming. Let's talk about streaming. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Is that tea?
Kind of like my ethos with streaming is kind of like my own, and obviously everyone's gonna see it a very different way. But I think what I will try to get through to you through this kind of portion about streaming is kind of the mentality and the mindset, and you know what will help you and enable you to best go into streaming and then hopefully succeed. You know, streaming is such a personal experience in general, and I don't know the vibes that any one of you would bring to a stream. Like, I can't tell you if your stream is gonna work.
Chat, the vibes though, like you're harshing my vibe, chat, all about the vibes. W vibes, chat. Let's get on with the vibes, chat.
By not knowing you, right? But what I can do is generally tell you, you know, what will work and what is good considerations you can make. And like, look, when we're talking about all this stuff, you know, a lot of this stuff will apply to the average, the average person trying to stream. Because like, I can't tell you how to be like an IShowSpeed, right? Like straight up. I don't even think IShowSpeed can tell you how to do that. What I can do is tell you how, maybe if you're a bit more average, like me, you know, painfully so, I can talk to you about my approach, my mentality, about how I built my entire.
Hey chat, am I average? Am I average, chat? Let me know, chat. What's up, chat?
Like streaming career, and focus on a bit more of like something a bit more steady, a bit more sustainable. And I'm not going to tell you to just work harder than everyone else, because that doesn't work either. And I'm not going to tell you to like fucking burn every bridge. And look, there is, you know, when we talk about all this stuff too, and we talk about streaming, I want you to know that like mindset and mentality is almost more important than YouTube. And going into streaming, it's okay if you want subscribers. It's okay to like want more. It's okay to like want these things. But that being said, you know, if you want more views, you want more subscribers, that's fine. But being greedy and like being motivated by greed in a sense is also a very easy way to like destroy any chance that you have of making.
Speaking of greed, chat, don't forget to drop 50 subs right now. Chat, you got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, now it's 100 subs. Better get 100 subs by the end of the vid. If you don't, something, we'll figure it out. I don't care.
Making any kind of meaningful impact in streaming, truthfully. Like, I know it sounds,
dang,
I sound like a Christian pastor, but like, if you are kind of,
well, you know, I know I asked for the subs, but I guess Norway listened to Connor, so I gave him the sub. So that's sad.
Of allowing your more desire to succeed kind of take over your ability to be personable, that is a recipe for things to go wrong or go right if you're on Kick. So look,
I'll give you 100 pennies and so you're acting like I wouldn't take the 100 pennies, man. Bro, I'll be lucky if I make $1 in a stream.
I'm assuming if you're watching this, you want to be a normal human being who is somewhat well adjusted and wants to stream. I can't help you be a fucking nuisance. So if you want to do that, there are plenty of other people on Kick that can help you do that. So let's start from the ground.
I like how bro immediately went to Kick. Like there ain't new Twitch streamers. He acting like there hasn't been Twitch gossip this whole year. He's like, well, you see, if you want that, let's go to Kick, bro. Are we really gotta talk about all those streamers who got up and coming?
Off the ground. All right. Right now, I want you all to forget about making any money, forget about getting any subscribers, because when we talk about streaming, and I mean this honestly, don't do it if you want to only make money or to get some kind of giant ego boost. I'm like, I know that sounds dumb because everyone who's doing this is doing it for money, but truthfully, you've heard this from every other streamer, you've heard this from everyone who's big. You know, the top 1% make all the fucking money. It's like real life. They're hoarding it from us. They're keeping the money from us. I'm in that 1%. So sorry, I'm keeping it from you. But like the odds of you getting to that point is so futile and low that you need to go into streaming with the mindset of like, it sounds fun, you know, because it can be fun. It can be fun, and you need to build that foundation now when you're getting into it, and that will allow you to have more longevity. And truthfully, streaming it a lot of times is very soul crushing. It can be very uncomfortable. It can be very exhausting, but it can also be one of the most rewarding jobs of all time or hobbies. And if you're going to get into it, I think you're going to need to be ready to put a lot of work into something that might not pay off in a financial sense. You might never make any money from Twitch, but you need to be okay with that. Like, you need to be okay with that fact. And I keep saying this, you should know this, and I shouldn't have to tell you this, but I just want to make sure that, like, when we're talking about streaming, and I'm going in over all of this, that it is mentality is so important. And I cannot get that across enough, because it will come across to the viewer. But that being said, I'm sitting here being hyperbolic, saying, don't do it, don't start, don't do this. Streaming's also kind of chill. Like, it's also kind of like, it's kind of easy. And it can be a fun hobby. And you also don't need a lot of equipment. You probably already have most of the equipment you need to start streaming, like a PC or a laptop and a headset, and if you don't have that, I know you have a phone, so, you technically can start streaming right now, and it can be really fun. And
it can be fun. You probably won't get far. You probably can, depending on what you are. Like, a lot of people could do it via off their phone. The equipment does help, doesn't make the person. You have to really be good at a lot of other factors, which a lot of people don't really take into consideration. But again, it really depends on how you want to be a hobbyist or a career person. So that's why. And
you'll know pretty quickly if it's not for you. And I think it's fine to try and to be like, I don't fuck with this, to be honest. So don't be afraid to try it. It's really fun. It can be really fun. We got another slide. The reality of streaming. I just want to show off this cute artwork. But yeah, generally, forget about money, forget about subscribers, forget about sponsors. Do not let greed motivate you. It's true. None of this shit is coming your way, and just assume that. Assume none of this is coming your way, okay? You have to think that way. Honestly, you're not going to go on Twitch, okay? And the fact of the matter is, Twitch is possibly the worst platform on the internet right now for growing. It is genuinely terrible to try and grow on Twitch specifically. YouTube is a little bit easier, and multi-streaming and all this stuff is very helpful. But, generally speaking, you are not going to grow on Twitch. Everyone said this, every streamer will tell you this. It just doesn't, Twitch doesn't do it. But people don't listen to this advice. They still just press live on Twitch, and they just sit there for 8 hours doing fuck all. You've heard this in all of Ludwig's messaging too. It's true. People do not spend enough time trying to help the things outside of Twitch help them grow. Because let me tell you something, right? Like, when you watch a YouTube video, or I publish a YouTube video, that content is available live 24/7. Like, anyone can watch that video at any single time. When you are only live for 5 hours a day or 8 hours a day, you have already lost so much of the possible audience you could get, because you are now limited to people who watch Twitch, which, by the way, isn't a lot. And two,
what do you mean it's not a lot of people who watch Twitch? The whole point people pick Twitch is because there's a lot of people watching. It's like Twitch, TikTok, and then people are saying Kick is slowly rising. YouTube is the biggest platform, but the notice is very algorithm based. Why people say it's human, but to get suggested to a human. So interesting, I say. That's very interesting.
Like, live at your time zone, and 3, care about the thing that you're streaming. So it's like you've already shrunk with live stream viewership, right? You're a tiny little pie, and now it's even smaller, and now you've got a crumb. You've got a crumb of people that can possibly even be your audience. Whereas with YouTube and TikTok, Instagram stories, you can reach a massive audience. And you've heard this a lot. You've heard this so much, and it's true. And that's the reason why. And I would rather you, as a new streamer, literally stream 2 hours. But then spend the rest of your time, like, let's say, like, if it was a share, like 20% streaming, 80% learning how to maximize that 2 hours outside, how to make sure that every moment that you spend live is engaging, and how that you can use that engaging content to propagate on other platforms to help draw in more audience, right? How you can use clips, how you can use YouTube videos and whatnot, right? So you need to think about this, right? Like being live is pretty much essentially kind of a waste of time for a lot of streaming. Because
dang, I mean, I would say that's the opposite for him though, because like he's literally live right now. But again, he's a big fish, so I don't know.
Even people who go live purely to farm subs and don't have any interest in making content, they get nearly all of their subs in the first hour anyway, right? So there is literally no reason, and it's diminishing returns. Every hour you're live is a less useful hour. So you need to think about that when you're thinking about content. But the thing is that sometimes people get lazy because sometimes going live and just playing the game is easy, and having to think about, oh man, my strategy of how I'm gonna make my clips go viral or how I'm gonna like make a good YouTube video is hard, and it's not fun for a lot of people, but you need to do it. And you can't rely on fans and random strangers to promote you. A lot of
That's 100%. Like every time I see a Twitter post, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, your audience can do that." Most time they aren't gonna do that. So like, unless you get really big. So like,
streamers that we know about today have blown up because of that, but you can't rely on that. Like that is not something that you can hope for, because people often don't make clips of you unless there's kind of good reason. Now, obviously, I mentioned Queso. He blew up because somebody was making clips of him on TikTok, you know, and that was very fortunate. But there are probably a lot of people who could have blown up, like Queso, that didn't because some person didn't pick them up, and luckily the algorithm, you know, took that and ran with it, right? But there are so many people that didn't get that luck. So why are you waiting for that when you could just do it yourself? You know, you could edit, you could do this stuff. And truthfully, you need to like watch a lot of content. Okay, so this is the graph. Stream less, make YouTube videos, make short form, be on social media. Consume as much content as you can. Like seriously, watching a lot of streams, not the same streamer, watching a lot of streams, content, shorts, YouTube, you need to fully understand the space that you're in and what is working, and find something that you can add to it. You know, find somewhere where you can like find a niche or find something that can work. Because understanding what makes good content and knowing what people are making is a really helpful trick, because you can do the yoink and twist, as Ludwig says. You can take an idea and twist it to work for you. That is the bedrock of online content creation.
okay, chat. Do you agree? Disagree? Let me know. Let me know. What do you think about that? Let me know in the comments down below, and have a great one.